Hey everybody, pardon me, but I do want to talk about this topic. Recently I released an episode on my new podcast, Sitting with Wisdom, with Aya Love, and it was talking about generational patterns and self love. And I was sitting and I was thinking, a lot of times when we talk about generational patterns, we see how a lot of the untold stories, some of the unspoken stories, the burdens, the fears, all of that, um, seems to be carried on through generation after generation. And the thing that I was thinking about is I know we get our features from our lineage, but it's like, how in the world did those energies get stuck inside of us? Like, sometimes we haven't even experienced the trauma ourselves, but it's like we inwardly acted out or thinking out certain stories, and it's just like, man, I'm limiting myself in certain experiences because I feel energetically stuck, right? And I know a lot of this has to do with the generational pattern. I am a firm believer in energy, and I believe that sometimes we have to learn how to transcend energy, right? Transmute the energy. And especially when it comes to generational patterns. And the thing is that it's not always easy, right? And you have to extend yourself grace in order to do it. And a lot of times we don't. Like, a lot of times we are really hard on ourselves, like, oh, I gotta get it, I gotta get it. And it's like, okay, this is some wounds from hundreds years ago, more, that are in us. I am so sorry. I am fasting, not fasting, I am detoxing, and it is working, okay? But we have to take the steps to begin the healing. But before we can take the steps to begin the healing, we have to be able to identify what in us, what in our lineage needs to be healed. And we have to face that, right? A lot of times I see a lot of people that just rather discredit what's being spoken about them, or an issue that's constantly replaying in their lives time and time again, and just blaming on other people, blaming on circumstance, whatever. But a lot of times it is a generational pattern acting out, wanting to be transmuted, right? And in that process, once again, extend yourself grace. That is the main thing I can say. The second thing I want you to know is that we, our generation, a lot in those who are doing this work in previous generations, whatnot, we are the bridge between the future and the past, right? And that's a tough pill to swallow. That's a tough walk to have to walk, especially if you're doing this work alone. So once again, extend yourself grace, right? That I can't say that enough. Healing begins with recognizing and then taking the steps towards the recognition. But it also means that it's really important for us to start creating new patterns, right? Out with the old and with the new, replace one bad habit with a good habit, certain things like that. So if that means you're learning emotional responsibility, emotional responses, you're learning how to be more clear in your communication, you're learning how to love and to give love and show love and receive love. Like, all of these things need to be thought about, but also be kind in the process to yourself,